Hey, Dan Passarelli here. Well, NVIDIA had earnings come out, and holy moly, they blew the doors off it. If you look here on the chart, the earnings estimates were $5.14.3, and the actual was $6.12. Holy cow, they beat that by quite a bit. And what happened? Well, NVIDIA spiked up a ton. It had a high of 1,063 and pulled back quite a bit. Now it's down at 1,026 and change. This is about a half hour before the close or so, but still up 8% on the day. Now, that said, I was on a podcast just yesterday, and we were talking about NVIDIA, and one of the questions that was posed to me is this NVIDIA's world and we just live in it? Is the NVIDIA the big dog and the S&P 500 just the tail that wags behind it, and the market is just going to follow NVIDIA and do whatever it does? Well, it turns out that apparently that's not the case. While NVIDIA was up 8.1% as I record this, the S&P 500 was down 0.8%. Not a huge move, but not moving in sympathy with the AI leader, which is interesting because this could be a bit of a confirmation of the end of an era. We had an era where AI was kind of everything, and that did kind of cool down a little bit. And now it seems that the whole AI thing, while it still, I think, has a really bright future ahead of it, it's not necessarily the only thing in the market, and it's kind of become its own thing. Of course, it will weigh on or bump up the more tech-heavy NASDAQ. If we look at the NDQ here, the NASDAQ was, let's pull this out just a little bit more. Well, here, let's just type it in here. Well, let's look at NDX. That's my favorite way to look at the NASDAQ. That was also down today, down less, though, than the S&P 500 because NVIDIA makes up more of a proportion of that index. And if NVIDIA is selling more chips, AI chips, than all the other tech companies that are heavily involved in AI, well, they're buying them. So we could see a little bit of a schism between the market and the AI team. Something interesting to look at. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.